What is up, YouTube family? Welcome back to the channel. A few days ago, we got a ton of stuff powder coated and Cerakoted. All of the parts that we Cerakoted had to cure for a few days. It was an air cure Cerakote that we did. In order to handle the parts, you need to wait at least 24 hours. About 40 hours has passed, and we can start throwing a few things back together. So this here is everything that we got coated. A ton of parts. A few things we do need to kind of reassemble. So we have like the throttle body, the power steering pump, cylinder head. Let's just try to get a bunch of stuff prepped and ready to go for when all the gaskets and seals come in. For our motor, we can throw the car back together. Alright, so we've got a ton of stuff already put back together and assembled. The very last thing that we can assemble tonight from all the coatings we did is the cylinder head. So we have the head here. I just got done unmasking it, and then we have all the lifters laid out exactly how they came out of the head. So one by one, we're gonna go through, clean each lifter, throw a little bit of oil on it, throw it back in the head. Then we can reassemble with the cams, cam caps, get the cam caps torqued down properly. We have this little plate to throw on, and we have some new seals to put on as well. All right, we are all done with assembling the head. That took a very long time, but it was well worth it. There were so many metal shavings that came out of everything, so I'm super glad I went through and cleaned everything up. That's one thing a shop doesn't really do for you, like a machine shop is. They're not gonna go through, take every single little piece out of the head and clean it up. There's one thing I've been wanting to do. I wanna take out the block. I wanna set the head on the blocks, the valve cover on the head, and then throw the oil pan on. Just kind of see how everything is gonna look. I know the block is like a very high gloss black, which kind of sucks. It's not really gonna match the pan or the head, but let's throw it all together and see how it looks real quick. I ain't gonna lie guys, that is pretty freaking wild looking. I actually don't mind the gloss black block, and then it's like a satin black oil pan, satin black head. Kind of gives it a little bit of contrast, I guess. Let's be honest though, when the whole motor's in the car, you're not gonna be able to see the block all that much. It's everything else that we coated black that you're gonna see. The thermostat, exhaust manifold, the intake manifold, all that stuff is gonna look so sick black. And then especially with the blue valve cover, this thing is gonna look so damn good when it's all finished up. All right guys, so it's actually now the next day. Yesterday we ended up going and hanging out with a couple of buddies, driving a GTR, driving a 1000 horsepower STI. Go check out yesterday's vlog if you want to see all those videos. We did just get in the package from MA Performance that we've been waiting for. There should be all the gaskets, seals, fluids, everything we need to get the Evo 8 back up on the road. There are a few other little things that came in as well today, like I broke the cam sensor, so I had to buy a new cam sensor and a few other little things. But this is the main box right here that we have been waiting for. So here we have all the fluids for the transmission and transfer. new OEM throwout bearing. We decided to run with the Cometic head gasket after talking to Busher Racing. That's what they recommended. That front case seal, oil pump seal, intake manifold, water pump, main seal, throttle body, thermostat, EGR, block off plate for the intake manifold. This should be it. This should be everything we need. Let's hope that we didn't miss anything. Let's get that engine pulled out and get to work on that thing. So we got quite a few things laid out. Here's the block, head, valve cover, a bunch of engine components. I think what we're gonna start off with is the top end. So we're gonna clean everything up. I already know all the holes for the head studs are clean. We get the new ARP head studs in, get the new gasket on, get the head on, get the head torqued down. There is one thing I've been wanting to do on this car before we start assembling, and that is the EGR port block off. So basically what you do is you have the cylinder head sitting here, right? This port right here is for the EGR. So you grab an 1/8 inch NPT tap, you tap that out, grab a plug, and you plug it. You're also gonna need the EGR block off plate for the intake manifold. I picked this up on MAP for like 10 bucks. The only problem is I thought it was a 1/4 inch NPT plug, so that's what I bought. So I'm gonna have to run to town real quick, grab an 1/8 inch, and I think I have an 1/8 inch NPT tap here. But yeah, totally mistaken. I grabbed a 1/4 instead of an 1/8. So yeah, I'm gonna go run, grab that plug real quick, come back, tap that thing out, get the plug in there, and then we can get the head onto the motor. All right, so we just picked up this 1/8 inch NPT plug. Let's see if we can make it work. It's the only one they had with that big ass head on it. So yeah, we're gonna tap that hole out real quick, throw the plug in there, and we may have to cut the head of it off if we can't get it deep enough into the head. All right guys, we got that plug in. It's sitting completely flat with the gasket surface, so we should be good to go. I did end up Loctiting it as well because you obviously don't want that thing to back out. We got the deck surface all cleaned up. Let's throw in the studs. The studs just go hand tight into the block, and then obviously you're gonna torque the nuts of them down. So let's get the studs in, get the head gasket on, get the head cleaned up, and the head onto the short block. We just got the head torque down. We went 20 pounds, 50 pounds, 80 foot-pounds as the final torque spec in the proper torque sequence. One thing we actually need to do that I completely missed yesterday when we were kind of like going through the head and getting everything cleaned up is bleeding the lifter. So right now I have the intake cam out, and what we're gonna do is pull out a lifter. This is the lifter, and we're gonna bleed it and we're gonna put it back in. Let me show you guys how to go about bleeding it. We're just gonna grab a really small Allen wrench or anything small, whatever will fit in the end, whatever will fit in that hole right there. Now we're gonna take the lifter, flip it upside down, and see how that oil coming out? That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to get the oil out of the lifter so it's not stuck solid. Once all the oil is out, you should be able to just compress it by hand. If you have a bunch of oil in there, when you go to start up the car for the first time and this is extended all the way out, you could potentially risk bending some valves. So this is something I missed yesterday. I was doing some reading online and came across that. Evo 10 is a completely different setup. It's a bucket shim. instead of a lifter, instead of a hydraulic lifter like this. So yeah, I'm gonna go through, bleed every single lifter, get it back in the head. This is the one we just bled. See, you can push that down. This is one we haven't. Completely stuck solid, or it'll move a little bit, but yeah, we want to get all of them bled first. Alright guys, this is where we're at. Cams are on and torqued. Make sure you get the little bit of sealant on these front caps, and as well as this cam angle sensor housing right there. That's just sealed with sealant. There's no O-ring that goes in there. From here, we're going to move on to the front of the motor. So we have that whole oil pump case with the oil pump in it. We have to also figure out what we're going to do for the balance shaft. I know one was already gone and deleted. This one here was still in the motor, but it just wasn't connected. So I think I'm just gonna throw that back in how it was. I don't wanna order the balance shaft delete kit that we need because it wouldn't come in time. I'm trying to get this thing done like tonight and tomorrow. So I'm just gonna put it back how it was. I leave that thing disconnected. There's no belts going to it, and we should be good to go. So we got that front case on. Next, we're gonna move on to that baffle, the oil pickup tube. We can get the pan on, pan all sealed up. That is just gonna be sealed with this ultra gray sealant right here. That's what I like to use these days. It seems to work out pretty good. Let's get the bottom all buttoned up, and then we can move on to some more stuff up front. So we just got the pan all bolted up. This thing's looking absolutely incredible how it's all black. I can't wait to get the valve cover bolted on and see how all that turns out. It should look pretty good with the black and the blue. I think it'll look really nice. So what we have left, we have the timing belt, we have the water pump, we have a few covers that go on there, cam gears, and then the timing belt cover. Let's get all that stuff mounted up right now, and then we can move on to all the accessories. I know there's 2 brackets up front. We have the valve cover to install, thermostat, the thermostat pipe. Let's keep making some progress, boys. All right, guys, this is where we are at right now. The whole motor is pretty much complete. The only things we have left to bolt on before dropping it in the car is, of course, the clutch, flywheel, transmission. We have a few things over here, a couple brackets up front, thermostat. This is a water pump pulley, and then like the tensioner. Actually, I'll probably put that on later after the motor's in the car. Ideally, if we can get it ready to drop in the car tonight, bright and early tomorrow morning, or maybe if I get bored later on, I'll come out in the shop. If we can get it ready to drop in tonight, that'd be ideal. Well, guys, we finished the motor. It's all done, ready to go, ready to drop in the car. Bright and early tomorrow morning, we can come out, throw on the clutch and flywheel, both on the transmission, and hopefully get it back in the car. Maybe even get the first start tomorrow. Go down in the comment section below, drop a comment, and let me know what you think of the all black motor with the blue valve cover. Do you think it's a little bit too much black? We did do a ton of black. Literally everything on the motor is black except for the timing cover. The upper timing cover is clear, and then the valve cover is blue. Other than that, everything's black. I think it looks good. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Peace out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.